Hello, and another warm and fuzzy welcome. The last welcome of the year.
The first one.
The first one since Christmas.
Yeah.
This is the Bad Playerz Pokemon TCG podcast with me, Ali, and this guy, Lewis.
Yes.
Yes.
That's me.
Mr. Formal. I hope everyone had a nice couple weeks. And whatever you get up to at Christmas is none of my concern or business. But whatever you did, I hope it was all right. Lewis, how was your couple weeks? Do you like this time of year? Do you not?
Not too bad.
Yeah.
3 weeks off school, college, so that's not bad. Oh, hello. 3 weeks off school, not too bad. And yeah, I've had fun. And I've been doing a lot of testing online, and that's kind of about it for the upcoming regionals.
And you've been playing, you just said you've been playing the new Pokemon VC.
Oh, yeah, the new Pokemon game, Scarlet.
You've been playing Scarlet.
Yeah, the best one.
The worst one of the two.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been enjoying that, and just 3 weeks off, spending time with family is always good. How about you?
I'm still, well, I was ill at the last episode, wasn't I? And I've still been a bit ill, so it's not been ideal.
Oof.
Lots of sleep and things. So it feels like I've not done too much really. Just chilled out and relaxed. Because everyone switches off, don't they? So there's not much you can do. Hopefully a bit better at doing podcasts now.
Hopefully, yes. No more cough breaks.
And yeah, there's not been much going on. Much at all. I mean, in terms of competitions, there was just a regional in Arlington.
Yeah.
In TX, which is Texas, I think.
I think so.
Pretty sure TX is Texas. And unfortunately, due to technical problems, and I cannot get my iPad to show on the screen today. So you'll just have to close your eyes and imagine. You're in a
Limitless.com.
Limitless TCG. We've just been saying like, who's the guy that says it really quickly?
Zapdos TCG.
Zapdos TCG. Whenever if you watch his YouTube channels or anything, he says TCG really fast, like ridiculously fast, and we've just been saying it. So every time he goes TCG, Limitless TCG. It sounds like a gun or something going off. And I find it really funny every time he says it, and he says it a lot.
It's I've noticed it before, I think. So yeah, we got.
So we've got limitlesstcg.com up, and we're looking at the results for the Pokemon TCG for Arlington.
Yes.
And when I first glanced at it, I was like, oh, it just looks very dull because there's lots of, you guessed it, Lugia. And not a fat lot of anything else that is kind of really. There's a couple of things lower down in the order that was quite cool, but nothing too crazy. What were your initial thoughts on it, Lewis?
Too much Lugia for my liking, to be honest. And the second place deck built to beat Lugia, like literally, and it just didn't even pay off.
So the winning deck is the standard Lugia deck. Like Lugia has been played so much now that it seems like the list has been able to be refined really well to counter everything else that's currently in the meta. And for example, I hate playing against Lugia with Lost Box because they've got Stoutland V, and you can just repeat that with every deck. But the Vikavolt one was quite interesting. That came second. That was one of the few things that were interesting. We've got the list in front of us, so we'll I guess I'll just give you a flavour of the list verbally. And so you have the 3 Baby Mews, which help you search for items. You've got 2 Vikavolt. There's one line of Aerodactyl V and V-Star. You've got a Lumineon, the dreaded Drapion, a Raikou V, a Crobat, a Radiant Greninja, the small Zapdos. And I can't remember what set that's from, but it increases the damage, doesn't it?
Pokemon Go.
Oh yes, the little small thing. And the thing I do like about it, it's got a Ditto V.
I don't even know what that does.
You don't know what it does?
No.
We are bad players. We are very bad players. So Ditto V, if you've got a V in your discard, its ability is called something transformation, and it just replaces the Ditto V. So if you've got Drapion V in your discard, but you've got Ditto on the bench,
V transformation.
There you go, V transformation. So it's quite that is actually horrible. When if I'm playing Mew against that, knock out a Drapion, goes to the discard, but they've got Ditto V, bring it straight back. So, how does this list usually work, Lewis? How would this list beat Lugia, and how would it beat Lost Box?
Item lock with Volt beats Lugia, and Aerodactyl, I'm pretty sure, shuts off any abilities, right? That's what the Ancient Star does. I'm not 100% sure on that. We need to check that. But I think it shuts down like all V's abilities. We'll just get it up now.
So Aerodactyl V-Star, I'll read it out and you can carry on.
Yeah.
The V-Star power is Ancient Star, a colourless energy. Until this Pokemon leaves play, it gains an ability that has the effect: your opponent's Pokemon V in play, except any Aerodactyl V-Star, have no abilities.
So, yeah, that stops Lugia V-Star's, well, I don't even know what it's called, but Lugia V-Star power to get
summoning something.
Yeah, summoning star. To get the Archeopsis into play from the discard, and 120 with weakness with a paralyzing bolt is also, with item lock as well, stops them even getting the Ultra Ball for the Ultra Ball for the Archeopsis, getting them in the discard pile and stuff like that. They've got the Raikou for Melanie attached with lightning for a one-shot on her. It hits hard anyway, but it also one-shots Lugia. Drapion is, well, that says it's for the
Mew and Mewtwo V Union, 2-in-1.
And yeah, the Ditto is really, really cool, quite wacky. Was it Alex Crackler who played this, right?
Whoever played
I think it was him.
There's Alex Crackler.
Yeah, he usually plays weird stuff.
Which is quite nice. That's the first time I've seen Ditto V in that list, so that is quite nice, to be honest.
The first time I've seen Ditto V in like a top 8 of anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so the deck came second, and
I mean, I've played against. There was a period of time, maybe last week, where I played about 5 or 6 games online, and every single opponent was a different opponent, but they all were playing Vikavolt.
Jeez.
And it was quite infuriating because every time they were getting off, they were going. If they go second, they can Melanie onto Vikavolt, get the 2 energy on there, and then paralyzing Bolt for the item lock straight away in turn 1, and then pretty much, especially Lost Box is dead then, and even Mew, I couldn't really come back with too much with Mew. It's annoying when it gets that good first turn. It's just game over. And you just struggle like a ladybird stuck on its back.
Oh, damn, all right.
You just cannot get on your feet to do anything, can you?
No. Yeah. So, good list, I guess. Second place.
Mm-hmm.
Not something I'd play, but lots of one-offs.
Nice 4 cross switches in there. The Forest Silstone as well, which is as if they need any more. Well, there's only 1 in the top, 100, so... And then there was Lugias. The one thing there was not many of was the Reggie's deck, and I feel like if you're a good player, seems to me, you can make this work really, really well and master it, and you can kind of get the potential out of it. When I play this deck, it is awful. I can never, it's like, I've always got an issue where I just have 1 too few Aurora energy in the discard, or I just can't get the last Pokemon, or I just didn't draw what I needed to. I'm thinking, these good players must be amazing if every time they can kind of get everything working.
Yeah, I don't like this list, so it only plays 1 Registeel.
Well, just ignore. Yeah. We'll ignore this exact list, and we'll just say it's like a normal Reggie with 2.
Yeah, but I've played Reggie a couple of times, but it's not something I really enjoy playing. Like I don't like playing it. It's horrible. It's trying to get Pokemon and then energy in the discard, but also if your opponent goes ahead in the prize race, then you have to scoop straight away. So you can't win then. But I mean, what place was this? 7th in top. It was in top 8, right? That's all we need to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, Reggie, it won a tournament like a couple of weeks ago, well, about a month ago now, in a single round tournament, like with 1 round.
That's
best of 3.
crazy.
But it also, in this one, it's got 2 placements that it went into top. Also, there were 2 high Reggies. So it does well in best of 3, I guess. Because if it made top 8, then it's obviously still a contender.
Yeah, I mean, if you brick it, you just scoop straight away, right? And you go into game 2 because you're gonna run out of time to pull anything back.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not for. I did consider it, but it's not a list that I'm going to be trying to play. I just have not got the resource all the time. Maybe not the skill to get that good at it. So there was a few. There was a couple more in top 16. So there's 3 in top 16. There was 5 in top 32.
So Rahul Reddy made his 2nd top 16 in a row in a regional, so I just thought I'd
Solid.
put that out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a couple of lost boxes in top 8 as well.
It's really interesting.
Or were there not?
There was one.
There was one.
But the lost box was 8th, 9th and 10th.
Yeah.
So there's 3 together. And it's interesting because a card that generally people were saying was going to be a bit trash and not really up there is Amazing Rare Rayquaza. Rarer. And it's in 2 of these 3 lost box lists, and the other one has the Kyogre in there, which Lewis likes and is playing at the minute. But I mean, a lot of the top players even didn't really rate this Rayquaza much at all. But it's there, and there's in one of the lists, there's 2. The list that made top 8, there's 2 Amazing Rare Rayquazas, and then it's got 2 Cramorants, 1 Sableye, and they've added in a Raikou V as well, which you don't normally see in a lost box. Well, not that I've played.
Not anymore. Not anymore. People who took out the Raikou for a single prize. Lightning Pokemon, either Zekrom or Raikou. Not Raikou. Zekrom or Zeraora, which is what I'm playing at the moment.
Last time I played it, I had a Drapion in my lost box as well.
I've got Drapion in my lost box now. That's the only V Pokemon in it. Yeah.
So, what do you think of this Rayquaza?
Too many different energy, in my opinion.
So this list has Rayquaza in. Right, you ready for this?
On them.
3 water energy, 2 lightning, 2 fighting, 2 grass, 2 psychic, and 1 capture.
Yeah, there's so many different energy.
Imagine the Chorus's experiment decisions with lots of 2s of energy.
It's so stupid.
And Rayquaza, you need 1 grass, 1 lightning, and 1 fighting.
Rayquaza 80 damage, discard all energy from Pokemon. Yes.
Yeah, so discard all base. You have to discard all basic energy from Rayquaza. So you know the energy cost is, and it's 80 times each type of basic energy you discarded in this way. So it's kind of a one hit wonder and then goodbye.
Yeah.
But did it play? Let's see if it played the energy recycler, which I don't. Yeah, it's got 1. Yeah. I'm going to say, you can't run that list without an energy recycler.
You got Raihan as well, too.
You say it differently to me.
What was that?
I say Raihan. You say Rayhan.
What did you say?
Raihan.
I say Raihan. Raihan.
Well, we'll never be able to say it properly again now, will we? We'll confuse ourselves.
Raihan.
Rohan.
Roy.
Ronnie. We'll now call it Ronnie. So it's interesting. I'm not a fan of that Snorlax, that does the 180 damage for 3 colourless.
Why?
I just don't like it.
It's great. It's really strong.
I guess for the attack.
It is, yeah. 210 as well.
For the damage, if you've got choice belt on.
Yeah, that's really good.
I don't know what it is. I'm just not too keen on it.
Yeah.
Right, so that was the one with Rayquaza.
This is the exact 60 that I've been playing for like ages.
Is this the exact one?
Exactly.
So the list we're looking at now is the lost box with the one of Kyogre, and it has got a Drapion V in there as well. So tell us about what it's like to play this list, Lewis.
So is this Azul's list, yeah?
Yes, because he bubbled out of top 8, didn't he?
So I built this deck online the second I got the results from Arlington. I've been playing this for about 3 weeks ish, on live. and it's just so fun and good to play. It's really strong. I went like when I first started playing it, I went 9-2 in the first like 10 or 11 rounds of playing it, and
Nice.
someone else who I gave the list played it and they went like 7-2 straight away. It's really strong and I've really enjoyed playing it. I'm trying to find room for an echoing horn at the moment. I think that's strong with the Kyogre and also Sableye if you want to put like a little Pokemon on the bench. So I have had times where I'm at one prize card left and I just can't take it.
What would you cut for that? Would you cut a VIP pass?
It's just trying to find room. I'm not sure yet.
It's difficult.
Really trying to find room.
Have you still got the Zeraora from Vivid Voltage, the baby one in there?
This one, the one that's in Azul's list there.
Yeah. So what's the attack on that one?
There's it's something called like Fight and Lightning or something for electric electric colorless. It does 30 damage, and then if it's a V or a GX, which is quite mad, it does 80 more damage. So with a choice spell, it does 140, and then times 2 into a Lugia V-Star. It's an exact one shot. So that's the only reason it's really in there. But a quick bonus of it is that it has free retreat, so quite literally quick. And that helps if you start that as well. If you start that, that's good. It's not a bad starter. And that helps you loop between like comfies and stuff like that. And it's also an easy promotion if say you've had your comfies knocked out by an opposing lost box with Radiant Greninja or something like that. So yeah, I really enjoy playing it. That's really it, right? That's it, to be honest. It's such a strong deck. The synergy with Guru and Comfy is just insane. You're getting able to put those battle VIP passes on the top and just getting rid of them. So your lost zone is like 3 battle VIP passes and nothing you need for that matchup.
Yeah, it's sad that Oranguru is getting rotated out, but we'll talk about that later.
Yes, we will.
And
I'm going to do that deliberately every single time.
Yes, we will. And I haven't played this list yet. It looks complicated. I mean, I love playing Lost Box. I can play Lewis just smashing the mic with his mug. I like playing Lost Box, but the one of the original builds with Radiant Charizard in there, and I really like that, and I'm used to it. And but this one, because you've got that one Kyogre, and a lot of the time you're building up to that one big attack with Kyogre to win the game. You kind of want to win the game with that, don't you? Yes. You don't really want to be having to find stuff after that, and then. I haven't played it yet, so I haven't got the knowledge that you've got. But then when you make the attack with Kyogre, I'm guessing you want to energy recycle before that as much of the energy back into the deck. But then do you just fluff and miss the energy on the attack? Because you look at the top 5 cards of your deck, don't you, and do 50 damage per energy to 2 of their bench.
Yeah, you only use Kyogre if you have no cards left in deck, so you deck yourself out, and then you use all the energy recyclers.
That's how you do it.
You put all the energy in the discard with Greninja, Quick Balls, Retreat in, and then if you power up a Snorlax, you hit for 210, then they knock it out, 3 energy goes into the lost zone.
So it's guaranteed.
So you're guaranteed, yeah. You don't do it otherwise. It's only if you have like 3 cards left in deck and you have to do it. You'd only really want to do that if they're like 50, 60
so
HP.
There's a lot of discard and there's a lot of deck management there. It's quite. Yeah. This would be quite difficult for the average Joe to pick up and play well.
It's quite hard to play. I would admit.
I played against one online, and the reason I asked that question is because they used Kyogre when they had quite a lot in their deck left, and they completely missed the energies.
You never do that.
What a waste!
That's so dumb to do that.
Nothing against this guy. I'm sure or girl. I'm sure they're lovely, but
they're amazing.
And there was the controversial deck of Arceus Duraludon. That was just a one of, but other than that, I'm not really interested in Duraludon. Are you?
Nope.
No. One thing I was going to say about that Reggie deck is that it can't really beat Goodra very well. Goodra. Can't beat Goodra.
Godra's terrible though. It has...
There's no clear option apart from you trying to use Regice to stop a V attacking back.
There's a Eternatus in top 30. Oh no, he's not in top 32. He came 33rd.
33rd.
Eternatus wheezing. Rubbish.
Yeah. I mean, we'll go on to the next bit.
Let's do it.
It's kind of linked. It's linked to this because there's something on here I want to look at as well. Weirdly enough, the Liverpool Regionals is only 3 weeks away. 3 weeks today, we will be playing. And it's exciting.
Yeah.
and
Whoa.
it's going to be different. It's going to be a nice change because I've spent a lot of time in my flat right now in Worcester the last months, years. So just to go somewhere new and different.
In
and
the cave.
In the cave. Yeah, it literally is, with the curtains drawn and just a big light in front of us. So testing wise for Liverpool, I think personally, I know what I'm gonna play now. You mentioned last week. Is it still the same? Or
So I'm gonna play Lost Box. That's the deck I'm playing.
the same? So you've been playing the exact same list that has all played
Yeah.
in Arlington. Are you going to stick with that, or are you thinking add a surprise in or tweak?
I think there's a regional before Liverpool, like an American one or something. So I'll see the result of that, see what the Lost Box look like there, and I'll just see if I like that or not. So that'll be it, really. I'm set on Lost Box. It's just what version.
If you brick in game one, do you have a game plan? Say, because it obviously takes longer to play that list, and you would rather win than have draws.
Yeah, you can't finish 3 games really. So you want to, like, if you're like, look at this starting hand and you've played it out to like turn 2 or 3, and they've already knocked out some stuff. You've got like 2 cards in the lost zone, and it's like the most dire situation.
Get
ever.
out of there.
You scoop straight away, go into game 2, and then hopefully you win that, and then you can squeeze a game 3 out of them.
Yeah, and then try and, well, if you can win game 3, you can get the win.
You got to win both in a row, which is hard, but sometimes that'll happen.
So I've decided to nail down and stick with Mew. One, because I like playing Lost Box, but it's when you've not done it before, it's a long day when you're playing a deck like you're going to play, where it's a long game one and you could be going to time every single one.
Yeah.
Where Mew, I've had a lot of practice with it, especially online, and you can be quite quick and quite ruthless with it sometimes. So it's very rare that you're going to be hitting time and no one's going to be winning it. And so I think that is the smart thing for me to do, just to go and see what it's like. And the best performing Mew at Arlington Regionals was 24th. And it's a little bit different to what I've been playing. I quite like it. I might try this one, actually. The one I've been playing is the one, when we got slated last time because we were like, why is Mew got so many path and vacuums?
Yeah.
It was for the mirror, wasn't it? And
Yeah.
to switch off other people's abilities. Well, not just the mirror, it can be Lugia as well. And then if you've got a vacuum in hand for next turn, or even a Forest Still Stone which hasn't been used yet on the board, you can just bump your own path and whatever, and off you go again. And so, but this list that came 24th it's got 3 paths still, but it's also got 2 Lost City, which recently I've taken out of my list because I was copying a list that was already out there. But I kind of, in a way, I kind of miss it, because when you hit a Drapion, all they need is a way to get it back from the discard, and that is 2 3 prize VMAX is gone and game is gone.
That's the end.
So this list here that I might try has got 3 Path to the Peak, 2 Lost City. It's just a DTE build. There's no Meloetta in it at all. And one change that I have made to my Mew list, and I really like it, is there is no more Marnie in it, but they just replace it with Judge. 1, because Marnie's going out in rotation anyway, and 2, you can stack your deck. So one thing that I used to do a lot with my Giratina is use Oranguru, Primate Wisdom, or Chorus's Experiment to the top of my deck, so next turn I know I've got one. But when you do Judge, you shuffle your hand into your deck and you just draw a random 4. so it's that's kind of nice to play.
Yeah, I do like the Judge, and I don't think anyone is complaining that Marnie's left format. No one likes that card.
No. I just accepted it was just a big part of the game, whatever. But I'm actually quite happy that
Me
I've got
too.
a Judge. It just kind of makes it a bit more difficult for your opponents sometimes as well.
Yeah.
And it's worth having 1 less card. And when you play Mew, it doesn't matter anyway, because you can just draw with Genesex.
Exactly, yeah. Almost gives you more options if you think about it.
Yeah.
Especially limiting your opponent to that 4. Yeah.
Exactly. And also, I actually removed the cross switches from my list, and this has got them back in again, so I'm kind of happy. I'm really excited to try this list out. I just haven't. I would have tried it earlier, but obviously been a bit ill, so not really done that much. And What else are you looking forward to about Liverpool?
Playing. That's it.
Just playing.
I just want to play
Yeah.
some Pokemon in a big event. And there's like 800 masters or something. Then said.
There's more than that.
Yeah. I don't know
Yeah.
the exact number, but I'm gonna be in that masters. It's my first regional as a master. So yeah.
Exciting.
No more playing with like 80 players in the field. 800 plus this
I've never even
time.
played with 80.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm really excited. Can't wait. And it's only in 3 weeks, which is
It's
not
going to be
long.
tomorrow. The time's going to go so fast.
Yeah.
And I'm quite looking forward to just being in that environment, and because a lot of these players who I have heard of and know of are just from online. I've never actually met anyone in real life or seen them, so it will be kind of cool just to see an in real life Pokemon community
Yeah.
rather than our little room that we normally playing of like 10 people,
Yeah.
and then now we've got like 1,000 total people.
Yeah, and you actually turned up to our league last time.
I did,
The
yeah.
last one.
I lost against you. Well, you got the donk in the last game
Yeah,
against
that
me.
was terrible.
What was it? We were playing. I was playing Mew, and you were playing Lost Box. So yeah, it's kind of similar what we're going to be
Yeah.
playing in. And what I can't remember what the round one went. You got
Round-
that one, didn't you? You got round one
Yeah, I won round one.
quite quickly. I remember.
You got me round two.
Round two, my game plan was just because I hadn't got judges in by that. I think I haven't got enough judges, so I had one judge and 2 miners. Because I know Lost Box suffers when you get mined all the time, so I just kept trying to Marnie, and I managed to get game 2 because you kind of just
I
we're
was
just
like, I
going to game
can't
3.
do this. Yeah,
I can't do
I
this.
was just like, I can't win this. It's
And then
not
we've got
going
like
well.
6 minutes left in game 3, and I just completely have a rubbish start.
I start Sableye and pass. You start you start Oricorio and pass. Then I top deck Corez. Then I play Corez until I scoop up that Comfy, and then I get the Cramorant knockout.
And it's a donk on the
Yeah.
little red bird.
It was such a bad game, that one.
No.
It's terrible. So yeah, Liverpool decks have sorted for us, I'd say. Just
Just a
what
few
version?
tweaks.
Yeah, that's what we.
Yeah, what
working on.
version? And I was saying to you on the way here that in regionals, especially because it's closed deck list, it's good to have something a bit unexpected in there.
Yeah.
And recently, do we want to talk about it so much? Everyone's going to take against us, all our massive group of listeners.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
mind.
There's
So-
3 people.
I know. So I was playing Volo. I don't know if it's pronounced Volo or Volo, which actually won me a couple games online because they just weren't expecting it. So it just shows that when you're playing against Mew, you don't want to be hitting the Mew VMAXs unless you can one-shot them. You want to be going for the Genesects because you could always Psychic Leap a Mew VMAX back into the deck if you've got a Mew V on the bench. And Volo lets you discard any benched V Pokemon. So if you're in the late game and you just need to not give up 3 prizes, for example, and they've hit into a VMAX, you can just discard it. So you're just denying them taking those 3, and they have to go for it 2 or something. So that was that helped a little bit here and there. But something like that, maybe something different, just to give me a bit of and something that's not expected.
Yeah, hopefully something will pop
Yeah.
up.
Maybe.
I don't know what you could put in Mew. I haven't played it for ages now.
Yeah, but are you going to be trying to do something similar to that, or are you just going to work? This is the list. I know it works well. I'm just going to be consistent and just go with this.
It's the only changes I really want to make are an Echo and Horn at the moment. I think that would be good.
Yeah,
There's no new additions I'd want to make. I don't think.
So in my testing with this Mew deck, one matchup that I've really disliked playing, and I played it this week at in one of the local places in midweek, and it's the Zorro box because they once they get Mighty Enna out, and Mighty Enna is a single prize Pokemon that just takes out a Mew VMAX very easily. Even if they've got Oricorio on the bench, they just need to have a choice battle attached to it.
Yeah, wow, that list is in.
So we're looking at a list now that did well. It was like top 30 or 40 at Arlington, the Zorobox list, and it's got quite a lot of stage 1s to counter quite a lot of different matchups. So the Raichu is for the small stage 1 Raichu is for the Lugia matchup. You got this is it
Braixen.
I couldn't pronounce it properly.
Braixen.
So that even it's Genesect for weakness. So that's even scary on its own. And then you've got your Flapple and your Appletons, your dragons that do so much damage for how many Pokemon have abilities or whatever in your on the field.
I'm interested in what Behemoth does. Little psychic man there. I've never seen.
We'll have
that
a look. So this was in the list that I played against recently, but they didn't actually play it. So it's for 2 colourless energy, they've got Psychic Arrow. This attack does 60 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon.
Oh.
So it just hits the bench.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
120 to the active if it's weak to psychic as well, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it can be that Pokemon could be anywhere, couldn't it?
Nothing special, but that's cool.
And it says also apply weakness and resistance for bench Pokemon.
Oh, that's interesting.
That never happens.
Oh no, I didn't see that. That's interesting.
That's brilliant.
That's cool. Nah, that's cool now. That's cool.
Well, look, every day we're learning. So normally all the time, that little comment at the end says, "Don't apply weakness and resistance for bench."
Yeah, that's really cool. That's interesting. I like that.
Yeah.
So 120 to a bench as well. That's really cool.
That's sick. And you could just use Twin Energy for that.
That's made me happy. That's
You're genuinely happy.
That's actually really cool. That's awesome.
And also the artwork is really cool.
Yeah.
How do you say the name of it?
Behemoth.
Behemoth from Silver Tempest.
Behemoth, yeah.
Behemoth. Yeah, I did not realise that little added bit of that attack, so that is really cool. But I'm scared I don't think there'll be many of those at regionals, but I'm scared if I do come against that.
Yeah, especially if they're a good player, because they'll
wreck you. God, yeah, well, any good player will wreck me, regardless of what they play. But yeah, so you've got the Raichu for Lugia, you've got the Mightyena for Mew, so if you're a good player, you can do well with that deck, can't you?
Oh, yeah, I think that's about it for Arlington, right?
We'll move on to because it's quite exciting. We're starting to see the new Pokemon coming out in the next era of Pokemon.
Wow.
What is it? Which is it? The 9th kind of
Gen 9. Yeah.
Is it Gen 9 now?
I think so.
So Pokemon Violet and Scarlet, brand new. Obviously, the game, the VCG, the Switch games come out for the VCG.
It's the VGC.
The VGC, whatever.
The video game.
Video
game competition.
You know, it took me ages to get the TCG the right way around.
Trading card game. This might be video game championship or video game
VGC.
Yeah, it's something like that.
And so we've seen the new Pokemon in the game.
Wow.
And now we'll finally get to see them on paper,
yes.
on card.
On card and foil.
On nice, shiny foil card. And because there's lots of weird Pokemon in there that are like, what is that? Is that even a Pokemon? And especially that Iron Treads.
EX. I love how that's the Pokemon's name. Like, the Pokemon's name is Iron Treads. That's really weird.
Because they're all called Iron Hands. And Iron Treads and
It's really strange.
Yeah.
Like, they don't have, like, real names.
I thought that was, just not their real name, but it was just what they called them in the game before they realised what they actually were. But no, they're all just called Iron something.
Yeah,
2 words.
It's quite cool, though. So yeah, the Iron Treads EX. Colourless. Triple laser. Detects 30 damage to 3 of your opponent's Pokemon. Don't apply weakness and resistance for bench Pokemon. And then for 3 metals and 1 colourless energy, Cybernetic Wheel, which is quite a cool name. There's 160 damage, and then you switch this with one of your bench Pokemon. And then Pokemon EX rule, when this is knocked out, your opponent take 2 less prize cards.
No, take 2 prize cards.
2 prize
cards. 2 less prize. You take -2.
Yeah. Takes 2 prize cards. It has triple retreat, fire weakness, and grass resistance. It's a bit rubbish.
It's I'm really struggling to be able to figure out on straight away with these new EX cards if they're going to be good or not, because they're so different, and you've got all these V Pokemon still in the format. It's not like we're just completely stopping Vs and we start fresh with the Xs, where maybe that could have been good then, but it's It's not overwhelming, is it?
No, I don't think that's very good at all. 3 colourless energy just to do 30 damage to 3 Pokemon. That's not very good.
No, like maybe like 5 years ago, something like that would have been pretty cool, but
yeah, that's really naff.
Not with the power creep. So this is what's I can't get my head around, and I'm a bit confused. Is if this is that naff, either we're dumb and it actually is really good, and we just don't know what we're talking about. Why make such a cool card and one of the brand new Pokemon have such a naff attack?
They're just waiting for the next rotation when it's just
when it might be better,
or when they'll just they'll print better ones, and everyone will just evolve and they'll move away from the other decks. Because there might be like another deck that will just become stronger because rotation makes the Vs weaker. If these
some of the support gets removed,
because these have like everything that's available really. So hopefully we see some EX gameplay. That would be fun.
Because if we look at that Iron Treads had 220 HP as well.
Yeah.
If we look at another one, Great Tusk EX, which I actually have not seen in the game yet. I've completed the game, I've not even seen one. It's really weird. It's got 250 HP. And these basic Pokemon as well, by the way. They don't have to evolve these at all. And the first attack is for 1 fighting. You just do 40 damage, discard a stadium.
I kind of like that.
The discard a stadium is quite good.
Yeah, it's just I like the fact that it just has a 1 energy attack.
Yeah, and because that can be quite cool, especially if you're hitting for weakness, and you know if your first turn going second, you can just do a cheeky 80.
Yeah. Any Pokemon that has a 1 energy attack, I really like.
Yeah,
it's like my favorite thing.
And then its main attack for 3 fighting energy, Giganto Tusk.
It could be Giganto. Giganto.
I'm gonna call it Giganto from now on.
Giganto. Oh my god.
I hadn't looked at that ever before, and that was the first time I looked at it, and that's what came up with my mouth.
Oh my.
Giganto Tusk. It's 250 damage, a bit different to that 160 from before. And this Pokemon does 50 damage to itself. So, yeah. But 250 is that sounds a lot better than the Iron Treads.
Unfortunately, it's weak to Psychic, which will...
Good for you.
Yeah. Good for this Pokemon as well.
But, oh yeah, they're worth 2 prizes. And we'll go to that one in a minute. We've already looked at that Magnezone, haven't
rubbish,
we?
Yeah,
we're not really interested in the Magnezone. But again, with the rotation, a lot of our kind of fan favourite, possibly our favourite engine cards and draw cards and support cards, we're kind of losing them. So we made a bit of a list, didn't we? So we're losing things like the Gormandai Snorlax, the Make Do Cinccino. I actually mentioned that Rillaboom Voltage Beat, and Lewis just goes, no one cares that card. But I've seen it a few times in a deck here and there. But we're losing the Shady Dealings engine with all the Sobble, Rizal, and Teleons. We're losing Crobat V, Eldegoss V. We're losing one of my Toad's favourite card, Oranguru, Primate Wisdom.
Oh.
That's going.
Sad moment.
And we're like, okay, so what's replacing it? So, well, we already knew that the Cinccino Make Do, that Lipard does the same thing with trade. Just it's got a bit more HP, so you just can't search it out with a level ball. And then the new Kirlia from Silver Tempest.
Yes.
Which was all yes.
Yeah.
Which was also one of the. That was the Silver Tempest. It was a pre-release promo as well, wasn't it?
Which one? Wait, which one? The Refinement one?
Yeah, the Refinement Kirlia. And it's kind of strange doing a stage 1 when it's got a higher evolution as a pre-release promo, but they did it with Laffy as well, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
Because they're just going to be the playable cards.
They did it with Finian. They made 70 HP Finian there.
Which no one
pre-release
plays.
Promo. Some reason,
well, yet. Maybe they will.
Maybe it'll become like the best deck in format next rotation. Who knows?
Yeah.
So, yeah, we've got the Gardevoir EX that has been released.
Yeah, so Kirlia automatically becomes better than that Lipart, for example. 1, because you can search it out easier. And 2, because it has an evolution which does even more cool stuff.
Wow. Yeah.
What does it do?
This Gardevoir EX has 310 HP, which is really quite tanky.
I did not even realise that had that much.
That's quite tanky. So Ability Psychic Embrace. As often as you like during your turn, you may attach as basic P energy from your discard pile to one of your P Pokemon. If you do, put 2 damage counters on that Pokemon. So P is for Psychic.
Is it?
You didn't know.
Thank you.
Yeah. You can't use this ability on a Pokemon that would be knocked out by the 2 damage counters.
I wasn't even listening to any of that, Lewis.
So it just puts energy back from the discard pile for the price of 2 damage counters, and you can't knock out your own Pokemon with the damage counters. Which I don't know. There's a very few scenarios where you'd want to do that. That's quite interesting. And then the attack for 2P energy and 1C energy is Miracle Force. Does 190 damage and heal any special conditions from this Pokemon. Heal any special conditions. Is that would be after. So if you're confused,
so you'd need to flip still.
Yeah, all right. Weak to dark, resistant to fighting, and has 2 retreat cost. That's really strong.
Yeah, and we kind of can see that already because you go on Twitter and everyone's like buying playsets of the Kirlia.
Wow.
Like already waiting for this card to come out because people are kind of can already see the impact it's going to have.
Looks really good.
So, I mean, in my head, I'm kind of thinking, well, this is going to be, you know, when everyone was playing the Sobbles, the Drizzles, and the Teleons. There was in every single deck, and you kind of got sick of seeing Sobbles after a while.
Yeah. Do
you think this will be the same? Replace that. Everyone just have these little Roltses.
Maybe to be
Rolts.
Yeah, maybe to be honest. They'll probably print like a dark EX. It's like really strong. It's like a basic. They'll print like Drapion EX for every psychic Pokemon your opponent has in play. This attack does 1 less colorless to attack.
Yeah.
Something dumb like that.
Or new version of Mightyena, but instead of having a VMAX in play, it's an EX.
Like stage 3 EX or stage 2 EX.
If there's an EX in play, this Pokemon attacks for free.
Yeah, it'd be so dumb. But yeah, it's really strong, especially if they print some like good opposing, like a good like backup psychic Pokemon. Then Gardevoir might not even be your main attacker. It might just be a support if there's like really strong psychic Pokemon. Yeah, but we'll have to see about that. I'm not sure off the top of my head. I don't think there's many strong psychic Pokemon that you just.
I mean, I know people who play Shadow Rider Calyrex who will be trying to make that work in a Shadow Rider deck.
No, it wouldn't work. Because you're damaging the Calyrex then.
Oh yeah, you are.
Makes it squishy, and then if it gets one shot, it gets free prizes.
Nobody wants a squishy Calyrex.
No, we all want a hard Calyrex. A strong, hard Calyrex. There we go.
And if that wasn't enough, there's also that other Kirlia from Chilling Reign, which has its for 1 psychic energy Mirage Step. Search your deck for up to 3 Kirlia and put them onto your bench. So if you're like having maybe a slow start and you just want to get some stuff down, you can just have one of them. So
yes,
it seems
yes.
It seems quite a versatile option to me. What else we're still keeping things like Luminion V.
Yeah, that's good. We're happy about that. Luminion will become good. Bibarel as well stays.
Oh mate, yeah, one of my. I mean, I love that card anyway.
The Crown Zenith, the barrel, the Bidoof with the log.
Yeah, so I couldn't care less about Crown Zenith and all the collectors, cool looking cards. I'm not really bothered. But the one thing that I absolutely love is the new. It's not a character race, it's just an alternate art, isn't it? Of Bibarel.
Yeah.
Where you've got where it's inside its little stick hut thing. I don't know what it's called, and there's a cross section of it, and you can see inside, and even outside there's a little Bidoof just holding a log, just looking, going what?
It's quite funny. We were laughing about that earlier.
And if anything, I'm just really excited just to have one of those in real life.
No, have it, put it in the deck.
But yeah, I can see that line of support just blowing up and being everywhere. Because we play in our local kind of group, we would play that whenever we were trying to play like a V deck, but a turbo version of it. So we didn't want to clunk it up with like loads of Sobbles and Drizzles. We just have like a 2/2 Bidoof Bibarrel.
Yeah.
You remember when we were doing Rapid Site Urshifu?
Yes, we played a Bibarrel. Yeah, we love Bibarrel in our group.
Yeah.
Well, one person who builds all the decks does. Yeah. So the refinement and even having the ability for the other Kirlia that gets free Kirlias on the bench.
That's the attack.
Yeah, that's similar to. Well, that's exactly the same as a Frogadier that was ages ago for Greninja Break, and that was really strong. So.
And it's like the I know Minchino's going out, but Cincino, the small one, it has that attack where you can search for 3 basics, put them onto your bench. So it's kind of
I know what you mean. Yeah.
So it's kind of the same thing, and it's keep calling it's like the same attackers keep calling.
Yeah,
pretty
you
similar.
Just put stage ones on the bench, which is really good.
Yeah,
it's just really good. Yeah, that means you don't have to like force yourself to play 4 Rolts, not necessarily anyway. And then you get more space for extra stuff, especially if Gardevoir becomes this like setup Pokemon when there's a stronger main attacker, which 190 is really, really strong, especially with these like slow Pokemon when this can be powered up because it says as often as you like in 1 turn.
Just about to say that, yeah, and it's not limited to once per turn. So you might have games where you want as many Kirlia on the bench as possible, and then evolve them all, and then scoop them all up again, or as soon as you can. It just seems pretty cool. It's exciting to see these kind of new dynamics coming in, and then how it's going to work with the big attacking Pokemon out there.
I do like this Gardevoir. I watched Azul's video on it, and he was just like, I think the title was something like, "This is the most broken ability yet," but it's just that looks so strong. It reminds me a lot of a Gardevoir GX, which did Secret Spring, which was just attack as often as you like, attach fairy energy from your hand to this Pokemon. They did 30 plus for each energy you had attached to this Pokemon, and that was like the best deck when GXs first came out. So it would be quite funny if Gardevoir just does the same thing again as soon as the X's come out.
Look, it might. And if someone like Azul is saying that, like, when Azul's looking, if Azul's reading that for the first time, what this card does, his brain is probably thinking about 5 or 6 extra different uses of that card than we're able to think of right now. So him to say it's one of the such a broken card, like, you know, could be one of the best, whatever. That means that's on a different level. That means something completely different to us just saying, "Oh, that looks good." Like,
I just think it can be used as a support Pokemon or the main focus of the deck. Make it some sort of heal-based deck if their max potion is reprinted.
I'm just looking at the card now as well, and it looks really, it just looks nice.
Yeah. If you put 60 damage on it for 3 energy, say you do, that goes down to 250.
Yeah.
It's still pretty not that bad.
Yeah, because you've still got 250 HP, haven't you?
Yeah, and you're hitting for 190. So yeah, this is quite good actually. Heal all special conditions from this Pokemon. And they didn't need to put that, but...
I mean, because normally you wouldn't really... Well, being burnt is not very common. Being confused is, but you would always try and you wouldn't want to do the coin flip anyway.
It should say heal 30 damage from his Pokemon. That would be amazing. That would be so good. Yeah, but did they release any other EX Pokemon, or is that like all we've got?
There was just those 3, and then obviously, you know,
we just
got the ones we already know about.
Got given the Magnemite, Magnezone, or what's the little one middle? Magnemite,
Magnaton,
Magnetrio, no
Magnetrio. Everyone, we're gonna play Magnetrio today.
That's so dumb.
Well, it's not as bad as my butchering of that that name, whatever it was. I've forgotten it already now.
We've forgotten.
I know some people who will be laughing their heads off at that. and I mean, there's not that much coming out in the next set of Crown Zenith or Zenith, whatever it is.
Rotom.
Apart from, there's that. Is that already out though? That Rotom V-Star? Have we already got that?
I don't think so. No, we haven't. It's just the...
I just couldn't care less about Rotom.
It's the Rotom V. What does the V-Star do?
It's... do you want to read it? Do you want me to read it?
I'll do it. Conversion Star is its V-Star power. It's an ability. During your turn, you may use this ability, discard any number of cards from your hand, then draw that many cards. Has this got a tool? Yeah. So you just discard the tools from your hand then. Yeah. That's bad. I do not like the Rotom thing that they're doing with Rotom V and Rotom V-Star with putting tools in the lost zone. I think it's awful.
So the attack's 2 lightning energy, scrap, pulse, 80 plus. Put any number of Pokemon tool cards from your discard pile into the lost zone. Alright, this attack does 40 more damage for each card you put into the lost zone this way. So you would want to finish with that. You just end with that.
I just don't like that. For 2 lightning as well, there's like no Melanie play either. Do not like this.
You could play it with that new, what is it, electro catcher thingamajig, which...
Yeah, you could play it with Raihan, I suppose.
If you really wanted to make it work. I mean, even the little Rotom in the artwork has got a sad face on it.
He knows he's rubbish. He knows he's worthless. He knows no one's going to play him.
It's got a little... He just looks really sad. And one card that is cool and looked like... It just looked like it could have been... Or it could have a lot of potential and it could do a lot with it, is the Radiant... I could try to butcher this one as well.
Go on then.
How'd you say it?
Go on then.
Radiant Charge... It looks like Charger Bug.
Yeah, Charger
Charger.
Charger Bug.
It's doing the char. It just dances down with its mates, going down through the forest.
Go on then, you can read that.
And Shocking Block is its ability, which whenever any player attaches an energy card from their hand to one of their Pokemon, V, put 2 damage counters on that Pokemon. It's already outdated, really, isn't it? Because V's are there's no...
Too late for you.
Yeah, but so... Wow, okay. And then the attack's not even worth mentioning it. It just does 30 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon.
You could attach an energy to one of your own Pokemon and Sharon's care it. Don't know why you'd do that, but you could. There could be some scenario where someone's got you stuck. But if you're playing that just to get out of being stuck...
It's a lot of faff just for one little scenario, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not that bad, but I will never play this. There's so many better Radiant cards. Just Greninja.
Yeah, and the Eternatus one we spoke about before.
The Eternatus that's coming out soon. Guardy, yeah.
Guardy.
There are some cool artworks going on here.
Yeah, especially with that Bibarel.
Yeah, the Bibarel.
Just amazing. Oh, and that Ditto, yeah.
Amazing, yeah.
Because I haven't really seen much of that Ditto being played yet, where you can just do any attack from any card in your discard, can't you? You can use the attacks of any basic Pokemon in your discard pile, except for any Pokemon with a rule box.
Yeah, it is cool, and that's really cool. I like that. They also released a Meowth, which you're very happy about.
Yo, there was like an article that came up, and it had a picture of Meowth, Galarian Meowth, as the headline of the article. And I was like, oh, it must be something noteworthy. And it was literally the worst card in the world.
Pokemon have released the English version of Galarian Meowth from Crown Zenith! Exclamation mark.
And Fasten Claws, 10 damage, plus flip a coin if heads just do 20 more. I'm like, this is well worth doing an article about.
So bad and rubbish. Why would they do that? That's a whole article.
I don't know. Galarian Meowth.
4 comments. People were interested in that. There were 4 people interested in that card. We can't see the comment, but...
No, because everything's just slow today, tech-wise. And
us.
Yeah.
We're a bit slow today.
We're a bit slow today. Greg here next to me.
Oh, Greg. I'm not Greg.
Your name is Greg.
Free advertising for them, for all the 2 people that watch this.
You know, I wouldn't mind getting a load of stuff from Greg's, actually. Donuts. Gingerbread. I always have a gingerbread man when I go into Greg's, weirdly.
Oh, your gingerbread person.
I'm a gingerbread person.
Gingerbread thing. All right.
There's one, because you know, like, my card is that jelly card.
Emergency gel.
Emergency jelly. I now, like, have quite a lot of those. There was a deck I was telling you about which had some of the emergency jelly in. Do you remember which one it was?
71st place.
71st place?
That's my guess.
Oh, yo, it is as well. You've got a good memory when you need to. And this just caught my eye. And I opened it up and I went, that's quite interesting. It's not going to be around for very long because it's got the Shady Dealings line in there. But the only attackers, well, you could attack with Inteleon, I guess, as well. You've got 2 Articuno from Silver Tempest, which for 2... water energy, you do 70 damage, but you also paralyze. 2 Drapion V and 1 Ice Q. So a basic Pokemon basically can't touch it. Any attacks on basic Pokemon can't touch it. And a Radiant Alakazam in there as well. And that's it. and then you've just got cards. Just you basically got a couple right hands and rare candies to get into a Talon really quickly. 3 emergency jellies. One of the best cards.
Tasty jellies. Yeah, that's cool. Plays Alakazam Radiant, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I pulled one of those recently.
I didn't know what does it like swap damage counters around? Is that it?
Yeah, so like once during your turn, you may move up to 2 damage counters from one to another.
That's not too bad.
So you can kind of just, if someone's setting something up to knock out, you can just go, nope.
Not bad.
Not bad. And I was going to look at the emergency jelly, just because I just forgot what it did. At the end of each turn, if this Pokemon... Yeah, so this works with Alakazam, doesn't it? At the end of each turn, if the Pokemon this card is attached to has 30 HP or less remaining and has any damage counters on it, heal 120 from it. If you healed any damage in this way, discard this card.
Really comes in an emergency.
Emergency, so
Hence the name.
So you could move energy around to try and get that 120 heal.
Oh yeah, you do, or you do. You just put that on
something that's already there.
What's it called? The Articuno. You do 2 Articuno attacks. You paralyze them back-to-back times. You heal up with the emergency jelly. Then you just do it again.
Heal up with the emergency jelly.
Yeah, that's just what you have to do. That's how the deck works.
You got to do it.
It's quite fun actually. Where did this go 71st? So the not top 64, but top 128.
Yeah.
So they made day 2. So
that's quite impressive, to be honest.
Well done to them.
Would you say that, like, if you came 71st with that deck, would you say that they did better than someone who came 70th with, like, or 69th? In fact, someone came with Lugia. Because it's such a more difficult.
Oh yeah, I would. Yeah, probably.
So,
I'd say fair play to that person.
It's like they're starting with a disadvantage from the first base, isn't it? Like you're going to start on minus 70 points because you're playing this deck. That's
people who play Lugia are just sheep. Like, yeah, he played that and won the tournament. I'm going to play the exact same list, and I'm uncreative. I'm not even going to change it. It's so dumb.
Because sometimes it works, and it's just the best.
If the best player in the world can do it, so can I. And unfortunately, that's kind of true. Is that people are just picking up Lugia and just doing well with it.
Yeah, I mean, you still have got, I guess, fluctuations in players' abilities, but
doesn't have an auto loss. That's what's.
It's so easy to get set up. You just have to discard 2 Archeops, and if you can do that, you're pretty much all right.
That was a yawn, by the way.
Yeah, Lewis is. I think that was a sign to move to the quiz, wasn't it?
Wow. Okay. Yeah, quiz time.
But I'm going to see if I get it right this time.
Okay.
So I have to tell Lewis the name of a Pokemon card
and the set it's in.
Do I have to tell you the set, or is that an extra?
You have to tell me the set, yeah.
Okay, and then you have to then tell me the name of the ability.
Yes.
And if you want help, you can't on the first one, can you?
If I go easy, there's no help. I get 0 points if I ask for any help.
But if you choose a medium or a hard, I can tell you the. Whoa, go on, you carry on.
The text of the ability, like what it does,
yeah.
And then the other one, which is just for, like the hard one, is I can ask for the attack.
Oh, okay.
Like everything about the attack. Okay, so is it you got easy, medium, or hard?
Yeah, I might need to look up the actual set they're from, though.
Okay, all right. I'll wait for you to get that. But I think I'm going to go with the hard one. I'm going to go the hard one this time, and I'm going to look away.
This is interesting. Right.
I'll let you look that up, and I'll just...
So I'm going to say the name first, and then you tell me if you still want the set. I think I know which one it's from, but... So the name of the Pokemon is Diancie.
I know which one that is as well. But can you give me the set though?
So let's just go. So what does it do? While I look up the set.
If it's the only one I know that has an ability is the one that stops you from playing boss.
That is yeah.
Yeah, it's the one that stops you from playing boss.
Oh, it's from that. I've got the. Hang on 1 sec. Let me just make sure it's right.
Is it from like Chilling Reign? Maybe no.
No, it's that one. The one that came before Brilliant Stars. Astral Radiance. Or
Oh,
something.
okay.
Is that the set?
Yes, maybe.
Yeah, it came from that
All
one.
right. It's like something veil, right? Maybe. Guard. Serious veil. Wonder guard.
So I know I'm familiar with this card because our friend plays it quite a
Yeah.
lot in his Zoroark.
I don't care about the attack name.
I don't care
No,
about
I
the
don't
attack.
I don't care about the attack name because I know what it does.
Oh no, the attack. Oh no,
Yeah,
I'm not bothered about the attack.
I know what the attack does. It's
Yeah.
like draw 2 cards.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
you got that bit. You know that.
Yeah. I don't know what it's called though. Like luck. I'm gonna go with Mysterious Veil. Probably wrong.
It's incorrect.
Yeah, I thought it was.
However, you're on the right kind of lines.
Yeah, like,
If anyone gets this, listen, who hasn't cheated, then well done. Princess's Curtain.
I was nowhere near there.
Veil Curtain.
I would never have got that though.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have got that.
You did go for a hard one though.
Yeah.
And you were in the right. I don't know. I mean, it seems like you have more chance of getting out than I had a chance of getting in your previous hard
Just
ones.
making it easier for you. You know, that's what I really tried doing. What's the score now?
You're still winning. You're the only one who's got points.
Yeah, is it like 2-0 or something? So I got Oricorio and
you got the one, but you didn't have any help with it.
yeah. So it was a medium and I got 2 points.
Yeah,
for
so
that,
it's 2-0 to you.
Yeah. God, we're quite bad at this. There it is. Yeah, spike draw 20 damage, draw 2 cards.
Yeah.
I reckon I would have got that.
I actually messed up
Attack.
with this card because it only stops boss if you've got basic Pokemon on your bench. You can still get a V-Star or a VMAX. Yeah.
Now you know for the future.
Now
What were your other two?
Right, so I actually wrote down a
See
few
if I can get those.
Okay, so I wrote down a few for like future weeks, but I'll just read one of each. So we'll go for this one. Right, a medium one is. I just need to get the set name.
Don't worry about the set name.
Mightyena,
Oh god.
the one we spoke about.
Yeah, I don't know that one either.
So I might as well tell you what that is because I can't reuse this one now. But so it's the one that beats Mew in it.
Yeah.
Hustle Bark, and then the easy one, Duraludon V,
Skyscraper.
the skyscraper Pokemon.
Yeah, it's the abilities.
But it's not the new dragon one.
Oh.
It's the V, the steel one. The metal Pokemon, the one that everyone uses because no one uses the Dragon V.
Hard shell.
Nearly.
Metal shell.
No, the first one's right.
Hard shell.
Yeah, but yeah, the first word.
Hard coat.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, I wouldn't have got it there. I would have said hard shell.
There you go. Well,
I would have not got any of those.
Same as me last time. I didn't get any either.
Yeah, that was awful. Well, at least we got that quiz about out of the way.
Yeah.
Everything out of the way, to be honest.
Yeah. Anything else you wanna talk about?
But
we're gonna have one more before we go to Liverpool, and then we're gonna blog Liverpool.
Yes.
So we'll do another podcast the week before Liverpool. Yeah, and then we're gonna be there. So we'll take the GoPro and we'll see what's what.
We'll be there. Shout out to our Bulgarian buddies, I think.
Oh yeah, I got an email saying the podcast is the #1 game podcast in Bulgaria because someone from Bulgaria listened to it.
It's amazing.
That is ace.
We're #1 in the country.
And I've been to Bulgaria too. It's kind of nice. I like the mountain ranges there.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is.
I know. We just gotta carry on being consistent with it and doing it, and then hopefully it just reaches a couple more people here and there, and then if that carries on, we can maybe get something crazy like 50 subscribers.
So yeah, if you are watching, subscribe, like the video, and leave a comment of something. I don't know, your first Pokemon game.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Anything.
first Pokemon game you played. I want to hear from you what your first game you played was.
And Lewis will go on and reply to you.
Yes, I will.
Yes, I will.
I will hunt you down and reply. All right. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you,
have
guys.
a nice week, everybody.
Yeah, see you. Thanks.
And see you next time.